one thing you may want to do is, for instance, this deck right here was imported from Quizlet, and I would like to get that into my Anatomy 1 deck. But in order to do that, since I know all these questions pertain to wrist, I want to tag all these questions wrist so that I can switch the deck and still be able to recall that information and look at it without losing the questions. So here's how we do that. We'll click Browse. We will find the deck called Wrist. And there's a few ways to add tags. For instance, if I highlight this particular question and I come down here to tags and I type in wrist and click enter, that tag has now been added to that card. And I'll show you that by highlighting these questions. As you can tell, these questions don't have that tag on it, but this question does. Now, for the purposes of moving these cards to another deck and still being able to find them based on their label, I want to highlight all of them. So I would click Control A, and that highlights all the questions. If you're on a Mac, that would be Command A. Then you're going to click up here between Change Deck and Remove Tags. You're going to click Add Tags. I'll click on Wrist because I want them all to be tagged wrist, and then I'll click OK. Now all of these questions are tagged wrist, and now I can move them into my Anatomy 1 deck and still be able to find them. So that's how you can add tags into your Anki. The other thing you can do is when you're creating the questions themselves, you can add tags at that time. And that's how to add the tags. Now I want to show you how to remove the tags. There may be times that you add tags that you just decide you really don't need, or maybe you had dated them and you just don't need the date anymore. So here's how you would remove those tags. First, you'll go to your browser and you will find the tag you don't want. So we'll just stick with these. Let's say we want to delete this tag. What we would do is we would highlight the questions that we don't need the tags on, because the first thing we need to do is delete the tags from the cards. Now you can click Control and then just kind of select the questions you want to remove the tags from, or you can click Control A or Command A, depending on whether you're on PC or Mac, and highlight all the questions you want to remove the tags to. Now, in order to remove the tags from this little area here, you will need to delete that tag off of all your flashcards. So we're going to come here now that we've got the questions highlighted, and we're going to click Remove Tags, and that's located between Add Tags and Delete. So we'll click on that. We'll click on the tag we want to remove and click OK. Now, if we come to these questions, you'll see they no longer have any tags at the bottom called wrist. But now this tag is still here, but as you can tell, it's not associated with any cards. So we want to delete this. Otherwise you can have a whole bunch of these and it starts to get pretty annoying. So from here, what we'll do is we'll close out, we'll go to Tools, and we will scroll down to Check Database, and then we'll click on that. It says Database Rebuilt and Optimized. Now if we go back to Browse, that tag should be gone. And as you can see, the tag is definitely no longer there. So that's our video on adding and deleting tags from your Anki digital software.